Good morning. Welcome to a moment of hope with Upward Transitions. I'm your host, Kana, and I am the Development and Public Relations Manager for Upward Transitions. And I would like to talk to you about a couple of things today. We're going to start with, of course, the big event, American Tourist New Orleans. For those of you who are not familiar, this is our big fundraiser we have annually, and it is a lot of fun. It's a big hit. It sold out last year, and we are selling tickets right now, sponsorships, and reserved tables. So this is the time we are going to ask everyone to have their RSVPs in by April 26th. So even though the event is not until May, you want to get your tickets, you want to get your tables, and you want to get those sponsorships because those comes with all kinds of perks. So you don't want to miss out on that. In my opinion, the sponsorship's the best way to go. The tickets are $90 a person, and unless you're 21 to 35, ages 21 to 35, young professionals, tickets are $50 per person. So might want to grab that opportunity now before those sell out. The sponsorships are different levels, and you can go online and look at each level sponsorship and what you get with that, because those have a lot of perks and each different level has different things. And so you want to check those out to kind of decide what it is you'd like to do. And if you'd like to do something a little different, if none of those really suit what you had in mind, let us know what you'd like to do as far as the sponsorship goes, and we'll custom make one for you. We just want you to come and have a good time. I'll tell you a little bit about the setup. It's going to be at Oklahoma City's historic Farmers Public Market, and that's at 311 South Klein Avenue here in Oklahoma City. It is a tourist event. We go to different cities, but we stay right here in Oklahoma City. One year we went to Paris. Last year we went to Austin. They've done a Havana cruise. This year we're going to New Orleans, and that means there will be a big, easy Cajun buffet that'll be catered. There will be the desserts are going to be courtesy of the Francis Tuttle Culinary Arts School, and there'll be a cash bar and a live jazz. Well, actually, two live jazz performances, but all evening long we'll have live jazz by Justin Eccles and his band, and there will be dancing, big dance floor. Live and silent auction, and some of the live auction items are pretty exciting, so you don't want to miss out on that. There will be a raffle, and there will be a wine pull and a jewelry pool, and a lot of fun things going on all evening long. It starts at 6:30 p.m. on May 10th. That's Friday, and it'll go till about 11. And we have a lot of things, a lot of exciting things lined up for that evening, and it looks like it's just going to be all kinds of fun. If you would like to know more, or if you're ready to get your tickets, you can go to www.upwardtransitions.org/American Tourist, all one word. And that'll give you your information and links to sponsorships, to tickets, to buying reserved tables, and even to volunteering. So make sure that you check that out and get your tickets or get your sponsorship or reserve that table just as soon as possible, because we did sell out last year. We're expecting we can accommodate around 300 people, and we're expecting all 300, as well as lots of entertainment. So please join us. Please think about that. I do want to give a special shout out to our early bird sponsors who have already purchased their sponsorship, who are always way ahead of the curve, who some of our best supporters. Our St. Charles Avenue level sponsors are Hattie and Trip Bryant, and they are the youngest sponsors we've ever had. Now, this event is 21 and over only, and Hattie and Trip are too young to attend, but they asked that we give their table to somebody special, so we will do that. The Esplanade Avenue sponsors are Bank of Oklahoma, Wade and Rebecca Brawley, who we always count on for wonderful support. Cannon and Associates, also wonderful supporters. The Chickasaw Nation, Timothy C. Dowd, attorney at law, OG&E, Ogletree, Deacons, Nash, Smoke, and Stewart PC. And all of those folks are some of our best supporters who we're really grateful to year round, not just at this event. Our Tulane Avenue sponsors are Bank First, First United Bank, Bill and Audrey Kemp, and Oklahoma City Thunder. And we just want to give a very special shout out to those early bird sponsors. I know there are a couple of people who are not on this list. Debbie Hampton definitely is one of our sponsors. And I think this is an outdated list. So before the end of the broadcast, I'll make sure I name everybody because I really want to give a special thank you to those people who got their sponsorships right away and jumped right on that. Want to tell you a little bit about what we do and why this is such a good cause to support. Upward Transitions has been in Oklahoma City and Oklahoma County for almost 100 years. Next year will be our centennial. We started off as Travelers Aid we're out at the airport now, but we started out at the train station helping stranded travelers. And we've been a United Way partner since the beginning. I believe in about the 70s, we expanded to be Upward Transitions. We wanted to do more. We were seeing so much need, and we were helping people who were in crisis and stranded, traveling from place to place or who had no place to go. So we decided to start helping more people in more diverse ways. One of the ways that we help people is people who are facing a crisis where they can't pay their rent or their utilities, and they are about to be evicted, and they don't have a support network to help them, like so many people. We will pay those rents, we pay those utilities, we work with them to help the eviction stop in eviction court and prevent that experience of homelessness from happening, especially families with young children and seniors. If you are evicted, you get an eviction on your record. That record is permanent. It doesn't go away after 7 years like bad credit. It is a permanent record for you. And if you try to rent an apartment or a house or a condo or a trailer, you can't. They will check your records. You have an eviction. You cannot. So this is a really, really bad situation for folks. And we're seeing evictions in Oklahoma City in particular are on the rise. And people are becoming trapped in a situation that is really, really rough. So it's real important that we help as many people avoid that as possible. We find that helping a family one time with their rent or utilities or both costs around $1,000 to $1,500. If they do get evicted and end up without their home, getting that straightened out and getting them back in a home costs upwards of $10,000. Now, if they're able to get back into a home and they stay on the street and they stay unhoused, it costs the city an average of $20,000 per person per year. That's with police and sanitation and emergency room costs and shelters and the funding that they help some of the nonprofits with, and many, many more things. This is just an unbelievable cost that can be avoided if we just prevent it from happening, keep people from becoming unhoused. I'm sorry, this is my helper, Henry, behind me. I am live streaming from home today, and Henry has a lot to say about Upward Transitions. He really supports our mission, and he hopes that you will too. Sorry about the interruption. I was talking to a new friend the other day who has experienced homelessness herself, and she was talking about what it took to get back on her feet and what it took for her to get secure and stable. One of the main things that she needed was a place to live. and therapy. And she needed so much help that she didn't have access to because she didn't have an ID, none. And she told me she wished she had known about upward transitions then, because we help people who are experiencing homelessness to get their IDs and their birth certificates. What a lot of people don't realize is about 70% of people who are experiencing homelessness on the street don't have a birth certificate, don't have an ID, don't have any way to get one. When they do have their ID, birth certificate, whatever, they say it's nearly impossible to keep them because your stuff will get stolen or lost or damaged. I mean, you don't have anywhere to go. You don't have shelter. You don't have anywhere to keep your things and to keep yourself safe. Even if you stay in shelters at night, oftentimes your things can even be stolen there. And if not there, when you leave during the day to be out, find some place to go, your stuff gets taken. So it's real important that we give people that pathway to get housed or to get a job or to get benefits to help them get housed, to get a job and get on their feet. She was able to get on her feet after an individual helped her. She did not go to a shelter, so she did not have the information that she needed or a referral to upward transitions. So it took her a lot longer to get on her feet, to get an ID, to have anyone help her to research how to get her birth certificate. And Henry's really concerned about all this. I want to maybe try to have her come on here and talk this, because hearing her perspective, I mean, we like to have people come on that we've helped. We've got a lot of clients who are really great success stories, and we like to have them come on here and talk about how this has changed their life and how your support has made such a difference for them. But hearing someone talk about what it was like not having the kind of simple help that they can get from upward transitions, and how much of a difference that would have made in the struggle that they went through, just getting their ID, getting that documentation was such a big deal and so hard for her, and kept all of the other needs at bay. And it's amazing that she did get on her feet with what she had to face, because most people, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have an ID and I didn't have any way to get one, and I didn't have any access to money, and I had no one to help me, and I had no idea that shelters could help me, that caseworkers would refer me to upward transitions. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how you magically come up with that, with a birth certificate or some form of proof of who you are. So someone will give you an ID. So someone else will say, oh yeah, you can have this help, or, oh yeah, I'd like to hire you for this job, or you can rent this apartment, or all the different things that we need that require our ID. They're so important. And the social security card and a birth certificate, all those things require proof of who you are. That's one of the really big things that I love that we do, is we sometimes reach out as far as going to foreign consulates to help people get their birth certificates. Our case managers here are extremely good at what they do. They're very, very educated. They all have master's degrees, and they really, really work with our clients. They get them, those documents that are needed. And they also work with the people who are getting their rents and their utilities paid. They don't just pay those and say, good luck, you're on your way. They also do case management and help them establish a budget and help them determine how in the future they're going to prevent this from happening. And we follow up with them. We keep in touch with our clients for at least a year, and the majority of them stay stable. We help one time, and with one-time help, with our follow-up shows that they stay stable and they stay hopeful and they feel secure. And we survey and follow up, and we receive really, really good feedback. there is a study that I don't have the reference on, but there is a study that shows that on average, this type of help will keep people stable for at least 2 years. And that's a study that just shows in general across the United States. So we really, really think this is a good investment in people and in people's lives, especially families with children. One of the new things that a lot of people are talking about that's more in the common vernacular now is someone's ACE score. That's Adverse Childhood Experience score. And your ACE score is based on, you have a certain type of trauma, that's a number. And the higher your number is, the more likely you are to have mental health issues and health issues as you adults. A child with a high ACE score is at high risk for heart disease and kidney disease and cancer and asthma and severe learning disabilities. And that's an experience with homelessness of just a week is a high ACE score, just one for a child, especially a young child. So we really, really don't want to let that happen to our little ones in Oklahoma City and in Oklahoma County. We want to stop that. They're our future, and they've done nothing. That all children deserve a home, and all people deserve a place to call home. Upward Transitions is also, that reminds me, a part of the Key to Home initiative, and I'm really, really proud that we're part of that. You'll hear more and more about this in the coming weeks and months ahead. The changes that are going to be happening in Oklahoma City and in Oklahoma County. Something that's really special about Oklahoma City is the way that we take care of people in need and people in crisis. There are so many people who are without a home or living in poverty, just barely holding on to their home. And for so many different reasons, there are all kinds of different needs, whether it's mental health or lack of health insurance or a sudden health crisis or the death of a family member, the loss of a job due to COVID, the loss of a job just due to the job market right now. Housing costs have gotten so high, but pays have not. And so some people just flat, we have them, what we call the working unhoused. There are people who surprisingly are not, they don't live in a home. They have nowhere to go. They hopefully stay in their car or a shelter, but they have a full-time job and their job doesn't pay enough for them to have a home or even rent. And they go to work and they try to save up money and they try to keep it together, and they're doing everything they can to try to get back in a home. It's all walks of life, all kinds of people. So we here in Oklahoma City all keep in touch with each other. If we can't help you, we know who can. If they can't help you, they call us, and that is unique. I worked for years with the homeless population in Los Angeles, and I can tell you they don't operate that way. Nobody knows what the other guy is doing. There's very limited help, and they don't connect. They don't work together. They're not unified. We've talked to people in Chicago and in Detroit, and when we tell them, oh, I can call so-and-so, other organizations are like, how do you know all these other organizations? How are you guys connected? And we're connected because we're in Oklahoma City and because we work together here. And the model, I think, that was set for that was United Way. United Way of Central Oklahoma really set that that standard. We all, so many of us are United Way partners. I believe there are 73 Oklahoma City United Way partners at present. And we're all connected through United Way, and United Way helps us to work together and regularly just has us all in different functions and events where we meet each other and talk about how we can help each other and partner together. And it really makes a difference here. The Key to Home initiative is taking that next step with it. They're saying, okay, here's the model. Here's what we've been doing. We've been seeing people in the throes of chronic homelessness is what we're calling it. They're on the street. They get to a shelter. They get out of the shelter to get help. It doesn't work out. They're back on the street. It's the same model over and over and over, because a shelter isn't a home. A shelter is a emergency service. It's like going to the emergency room when you're sick. That's not your doctor. If you have a chronic disease, you can't go to the emergency room for it. It's not going to fix it. The emergency room takes care of you for the immediate life and death situation, and then you follow up with your regular doctor. The Key to Home initiative is kind of working that way, in that we need more back-end housing and services for these people to get them on their feet, not just take care of them in a makeshift shelter or a place where they can stay at night for a period and then go try and make it out on the street again. And then when it gets too hard, come back to the shelter. That doesn't work anymore. It never did. So we're working together. All of these nonprofits in Oklahoma City are working together with the Key to Home initiative to try to change how Oklahoma, particularly Oklahoma City, approaches this issue. There is a 2-year goal to reduce the homeless population in Oklahoma City by 2/3. And we're meeting that goal. Right now, we're almost to the 1-year mark. We're at the halfway to the 1-year mark, and we've met our goal. We're halfway to halfway. So it's working. The thing that you've probably seen on the news is that they're cleaning up encampments. I don't like saying cleaning up. They're taking the people who are in encampments and housing them. And that's where the encampment went. It's not like the old way of just taking people and dropping them off at a shelter and cleaning up the area and hoping nobody comes back. This is getting them into help, getting them services, and getting them home. And it's working. So look into that more and know that Upward Transitions is taking part in that, and it means a lot to us. And it's a very exciting, in my opinion, revolutionary idea. Upward Transitions had a wonderful year last year, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about that. I'd like to tell you about our numbers last year. I think the best way to do it is to show you a fun little video we've made rather than rattling on about it. So I will show you that before we close today. And I want to thank you for joining us. And I want to encourage you to go check out American Tourist New Orleans at upwardtransitions.org so that you don't miss out on a really fun night. And I'll let you know more about that in the coming weeks as well. Here, let me load up this video for you. And I'll see you.